but it's cheesy shells is what I know it by.
Yeah,
and it's the best shit ever.
We grew up on like Hamburger Helper, or it's probably like the knockoff stuff. But my dad, when my parents got divorced, my dad let my mom keep everything and just started over. So kudos to my dad for being a stand-up guy. But because of that, we were super poor because he, was trying to accumulate stuff and,
Right.
So we ate that stuff all the time and I loved it. Like as a kid, like that's the best meal. Like,
yeah.
I didn't want like pork loin roast with green beans and like give me some Hamburger Helper and I'm good. I might go get some soon and just do that. Just like make a whole thing of why not?
My dad, bless his heart, my dad would throw hot dogs in everything and think like, all right, this is I'm gonna spice this dish up. Who wants hot dogs? Man, you can't do that for everything.
Did he chop up hot dogs and throw them in with his hot dogs?
Drizzle it with hot dog bits. No, he would make us like if even something as simple as ramen noodles. He's like, hey, you know what goes good with that? Diced up hot dogs. Like, damn it! All right, let's do that then. Macaroni and cheese. You guys like diced up hot dogs in that bitch?
Not mad about that.
Why not? Let's do that. So hot dogs were my childhood.
Hell yeah. So I think I was trying to think while we were talking. I'm not very good at it because I can't do two things at once. But I was thinking about like what foods that I have to have, and I think like the main one for me, which I don't always get because usually we do it at my dad's, and my dad is like very traditional, like turkey, maybe some green beans, mashed potatoes, gravy, that kind of stuff.
The staples, and that's it.
Yeah, and like none of us like cranberry sauce. Fuck cranberry sauce. You heard it here first. Fuck cranberry sauce.
Hashtag it.
But I love mac and cheese. Like, it's like mac and cheese might be my favorite food because it's like comfort food, and it fills you up. It's delicious.
You're right.
But, yeah, I'm the same way.
You don't have
like,
to eat a lot of it to fill you up either.
You don't really. No, absolutely not. It's like fat and carbs. Like it does the trick pretty well. But yeah, man, just like 4 cheese, lots of spices. I don't want like carrots or
no.
You don't need to put essence of artichoke in it. Like I don't need. Maybe some sort of meat, like lobster is good.
What's that? I'm getting a hint of. Oh, we diced up onion in there. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
No need.
Just work. Yeah. Put that diced up onion in something else. Put it in the burger.
Put some, maybe a little seasoning salt, maybe a little garlic powder. Like, you don't really need.
Right.
And lots of cheese. Like, the more cheese, the better.
This is fine over here, Brenda. Put that extra shit in something else.
It's almost like people like need to outdo each other, but at the sake of macaroni and cheese, get your life together.
Right. Right.
Mashed potatoes and gravy is another thing that I like. If I don't have mashed potatoes and gravy at like a holiday meal, it almost feels like, I don't know. Part of it is, I think, like the Irish and Russian background, like that's what my people survived off of for hundreds of years. And it's just like embedded in my DNA,
right?
That I like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah, no, I'm a giant child. Tomorrow at my grandpa's house, I'm gonna be singing in my Beyonce voice, all the things with gravy, all the things with gravy. Like, I'm going to town.
Hell yeah!
And I'm gonna be having a competition with everybody else at the table.
How many plates do you put down on a Thanksgiving?
On a good Thanksgiving, I could probably go 3 or 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's impressive. You've lost a lot of weight, man.
I have.
So do you think that this is going to be a slight step back?
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, I definitely...
You've lost what, like 50 pounds? 60 pounds?
I've lost 60 pounds now.
That is it.
Yeah.
That's impressive, dude.
I'm
Congratulations.
feeling good. Like,
you look good.
And with the weight loss, though, like, I've found myself, like more. I don't know. I guess content with the way that my body looks. So I've started to just let my hair and my facial hair go to shit. Like I'm starting to look more and more like the Geico caveman, and I'm okay with it.
You look like homeless Wolverine right
now. right. Like Hugh Jackman. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think one of these days I might, definitely when it warms up, like since it's getting cold out, I'm okay with having more hair.
For sure.
Like nobody wants a cold head.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
I don't really either, but I don't know, I'm super particular about my looks, and I feel like I look dumb with long hair, so I keep it pretty military. No, you look fine, man. I think you look fine, but I also don't have to have sex with you or anything.
Right.
So.
Lucky you.
Oh.
Neither does my wife.
Hello.
Consensual. So, no, when my hair gets long, it gets, like, curly. Like, I start to look like Screech. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So, the longer my hair gets, you can actually hear my wife's libido going, no. Like, don't do that. So, there's going to come a time where...
Does Trish ever say, all right, like, this is ridiculous, you need to get a haircut? Or does she just kind of let you do...
She lets me do... To my wife's credit, she lets me do what I want to do, but I guarantee that there will come a time where, figuratively and literally, like in air quotes, the muffin shop will be closed. So that time will come, and I'll go, yep, I got to go to the barber. So it's just a matter of time. It's just right now, it's so goddamn cold out that I just want to keep my head warm.
Oh, man. The freedom of being with somebody and getting sex on a regular basis, and you don't have to, like, worry so much about looks, man.
Right.
Because, like, you know, I told you earlier, I'm going on a date tonight.
Yeah. My man's got a date.
So I got a haircut.
There you go. You got your shit lined up?
Yeah.
Looking fresh.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good. It's so weird, man, because so I'm going on this date, but I was talking to a lady who we were kind of interested in each other, and like at least for right now, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. But we were talking about she had like, so I wasn't sure like what was going on, and so I called her, talked to her, and, she kind of laid it out for me.
And do, like, the where do we stand?
Yeah, just kind of like, are you still interested? Because I am, but, we haven't really been talking much, so I didn't know what was going on. So just kind of wanted to see what was going on. And she, it was kind of a complicated situation, but at one point she said, you're out of my league. And I was like, what? And she said, yeah, like, you're out of my league physically and mentally. And I was like, I don't. First of all, I was like, I don't agree. I think that that's not right. But mainly just because in general, I don't think that leagues exist. I don't believe in the number system. I think that, because I've dated, most of the women I've dated have been significantly better. Like, we didn't match up. Like, if people saw us in public, they're like, oh, that's her brother or something.
Right. Right. Like, oh, shit, look at him. He's with his handler. Like,
right.
No, I got you.
So I don't know. Do you think what do you think about league? Do you if somebody said, "Hey, you're out of my league," or something like that, or would you ever say to somebody like, "You're out of my league," so I don't think it would work?
See, on I guess I ride the fence on that one because one of the first jokes I ever wrote for my act for stand up. Consisted of saying that my wife was out of my league.
Right. And I see that, I guess. So maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I think you'd be wrong not to see it. My wife is attractive. And
your wife is attractive.
Seeing her next to me, it's like, no, is that her little brother? Like right. What's the deal? But yeah, one of the first jokes I ever wrote was my buddies always make comments about the fact that my wife is out of my league. How did I nail her down? And I tell everybody she's my Make-A-Wish. Like that was one of the first jokes I ever put in my act, and
That's funny.
I think, and I see that, whenever I talk about my wife, I'll tell people, it's like, yeah, my wife fucking married down, but I agree
those
with
are
you.
all jokes, though.
Absolutely. But if we go into like how I really feel about shit, I'm with you on the side that I don't know if leagues exist or don't exist. Like I see the whole like trashy versus classy side of things.
Sure.
Like there's leagues if you look at things like that. But saying that somebody's she's a 9, how is she with that 3? It's like, hey, if she likes that fucking 3,
yeah,
then and if he likes that 9, then
it's interesting because number one, I don't think that like obviously there's when people talk about attractiveness, they talk about like we know kind of in a general sense that being what people consider attractive is all about symmetry. So facial symmetry is what makes people attractive. So Brad Pitt has a nearly perfect symmetrical face, and that's why people find him attractive. But
and that's all subconscious. Like nobody's sitting there going, his face is symmetrical.
Right. But as far as like, on a science tip or evolutionary tip, that's why that is like that. But you're right. We don't think, oh man, like look at that. He must have a really symmetrical face because I think he's beautiful.
It's all psychological.
Right.
It's all ingrained in us to be like, hey, I want to be with that person because my genetic or what's in my bones is telling me that person would be great to have kids with.
Right. But there is no like there's no like standard of beauty aside from that, right? Like think about movies, like put into a perspective of movies. Some people like Tim Burton's movies, some people like Quentin Tarantino's movies. Some people like romantic comedies. They're all fine. And it's just about what people like. So when you look at it like that, the whole like I'm a 5 and she's a 9 cease to exist because it's simply about what people find valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so with that being said, I mean, it's just find what you like. If that other person reciprocates,
right,
literally as easy as it is, and it can get frustrating because sometimes, like for a long time when I was not mentally doing as well as I am now, I thought, oh, what's wrong with me? Like I seem to be a nice guy. I'm pretty funny. Right. Why don't people like me? But a lot of that had to do with confidence. People like confidence, and it doesn't. Yeah. Maybe that 3 that's with a 9 is really confident. Speaks well. Tells great stories. Has a big old dick. I don't fucking know. But
he may be a 3, but he's got a dick of a 9.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. His face is a 3. His dick is a 10. You know what I mean?
That dick's a whole other level.
I don't know, man. The thing I think that bothers me is that what you're doing when you say stuff like that is you're putting yourself down. If I say, oh, she wouldn't be interested in me because she's a 10 and I'm a 4, then I've already like counted myself out, and maybe she does like me, but because of my insecurities, she won't like me. And I get that, like you don't want somebody that doesn't feel good about themselves because then you have to play nanny and like be like, no, you are good enough, and that's not fun.
Well, Facebook started off as like the hot or not thing.
Right, it did.
Like that started off. You put a picture up of yourself, throw it into the cosmos, and then a bunch of strangers would go. I'd tap it or pass, right, or give you a rating on like 1 to 10 on how attractive you are, and that's how Facebook started. Yep. Imagine if something like that started now. It's like, oh my god, everybody be in an uproar,
right?
Like, we should be judging people on their character, not how they look. Like that's how you get a swipe to the left on Tinder, lady.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that people miss when they say, "Oh, we should focus on